All right, Tracy, thanks for hanging out with us today. I'm really looking forward to talking to you, and I'm going to unmute you.
I'm a fan of Tracy as well, actually. Very
You're
happy to
what?
have her. I'm a
Hi,
fan
guys.
of Tracy. Very happy to have her.
You love Tracy too? Still?
I'm a big fan.
Okay. Anyway, so we need some 8x10 autographed glossies of you, Tracy. So, are you going to share your screen, or you want me to just move
I
around?
want you to, yeah, I'm on my phone, so I need
Okay.
you to just pull up a 4-hour crude chart.
Okay, let me share it.
Will I be able to see it?
You should be able to see it.
All right.
Can you see mine? Right here, here's your, that's a 1 hour, here's a 4.
Yeah.
All right, so are we coming out of the range to the upside, Trace?
So, yeah, I mean, I think so. I mean, if you take, we've been consolidating in this area really since
the whole month.
They announced the Aramco IPO, right? And kind of part of my conspiracy theory is that that they kind of want, while they're bookmaking for this IPO, that they want oil prices stable. So I think, we've kind of been in this range. It's a little bit suspect, right?
Right. So it's a rectangle.
As far as that, so yeah, so we have a rectangle up there, but it is a bull flag, sideways consolidation. So I do expect it to break to the upside.
So just a technical measured move. It's about a $1.60 range here, Trace. Yeah. So I'm going to ask you, if we get through 57.80, I think you're talking 59.40. Is that a reasonable target?
And, yeah, actually, if you squish that chart in a little bit more, we kind of have a channel forming from the bottom low on. Let's see.
Let me try and be Kreskin here. So this is my attempt at reading your mind.
Doing my channel. So it would be like on, from that.
How about this?
That, there, and then you can do one above, right? And so the top of that trend line above is exactly a measured move. In other words, if you
I see. So you're talking about like a return line here, something like this.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay, I did. I read your mind. Okay.
There you go. So,
all right.
I think that we can hit the top of that trend line, and at that point, it is possibly bearish ascending wedge. So we could.
Yeah, and that's 61.8 right there, Trace.
Right, and we could
look
drop
at it.
Exactly, and then we could drop, into December, which fits seasonality anyway, right? Because generally we see a downtrend, in December, just because they. Because of tax reasons, companies just,
When's the IPO supposed to hit the street?
So that's supposed to, bookmaking is closed on December 5th, which is also the OPEC meeting, and then trading is supposed to begin December 11th.
Okay, so we know that once that's behind us and it's out there, then their price sensitivity, since they've gone to the register, will not be as high.
Right.
Okay.
So, that's a good way of saying it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be polite. So those greedy guys that sell their IPO to a bunch of bag holders, then they can hedge the hell out of crude and take it down to 43.
Exactly. And it all fits. I mean, in a perfect world, it's going to work that way, right? But, we all know,
Yeah. So anything else on your radar? I know you do a lot in energy, and are any of the products giving you any market tells, or is there anything related to the dollar, what's happening here domestically, that you're that's on your radar? I know you talk about yields a lot, Trace. I've seen some of your tweets when gold was getting hammered. You said it's all about yields. You have a view on yields?
Exactly. So, you know, I don't at this point. I mean, I think that we probably can see a reversal, but you know, we're kind of coming into resistance here, like 1472, 1475 in gold. So we might get a pullback here. You know, as far as gold is concerned, I'm not sure how that, you know, I don't happen to have I don't have a yield chart up right now. So.
Okay. Well, here's a yield chart. If you could see my screen, I don't know. You're in here, so you could see.
So, I mean, it's possible that, you know, it pulls back a little, but I mean, it still looks kind of bullish, right?
What, this chart?
Yeah,
it could. It tried to close above an ascending triangle line. The bears would say this is just ABC. We're complete and we're heading down again. And the bulls looking for higher yields would say, yeah, the bottom's in. I
don't know if the
bottom's down in.
I don't think the bottom's in at all. You know, I think.
But okay, so we could just have a continuation of a bear market rally. And
just a little bit more perhaps, and then, you know, and it looks like, you know, just a little bit more, unless it's rejected here. But I mean, that still looks like a bearish pattern to me. I don't think that.
Well, okay. And okay, any view on equities? You ever do anything with indexes?
So yeah, I mean, I trade indices. So you know, I mean, as far as
just
right
scalping.
now. Yeah, I mean, it's not, you know, it's, you know, day trading that. I mean, right now, if you look big picture, again, we're kind of in a consolidation as well. So, you know, either we, you know, go higher and then have a bigger pullback, or we pull back here. But I mean, overall, it's bullish.
Okay, well, I could tell just from your tone of voice, your highest conviction trade, and it's kind of like your specialty is WTI. Is that correct?
WTI. Yeah. I mean, you know, because I trade that on a longer term and shorter term basis.
Do you believe this, Trace? You know, everyone thinks they have to be a portfolio type trader and be in a bunch of different instruments. And I always use the example when I was on the floor of the CME that I knew guys that never left one trading pit that had their chauffeurs pick them up after the close. And all you really have to do is know one market well to be successful instead of knowing about 20 instruments.
I mean, I think it all really depends on your trading style. For me, I can't really trade more than, you know, unless it's a swing trade or something like that I have a long-term view on, you know, where I'm just sitting in it. But, you know, on a day-to-day basis, you know, if I'm day trading something, like I can't focus on more than, you know, 2-3 products max. But that's just me personally. I know people that are all over the place. You know, they're trading 20 markets at the same time.
I'm overwhelmed with 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like a one at a time guy.
Yeah.
In relationships too. You know, all these people. I don't take multiple positions, Tracy. So.
Right. I hear you.
So, all right. So crude, really, it's all about this Saudi.
So it's all about this IPO right now, you know, and the chart pattern right now, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I still think we have, you know, a move up, breaking out of this consolidation, and then, you know, down into December, perhaps January, you know, depending on.
Oh yeah, that you just lit up a light bulb. We were down all last December and put in a fairly significant low at the beginning of the year last year.
Yeah.
So you're looking for maybe a repeat performance of that.
Well, I mean, probably not as drastic. I mean, you know, last December, everything.
Here we were.
kind of.
Yeah.
Went south.
Why is there weakness in December?
It's weakness. Well, there's weakness in December generally with crude oil. Is because everybody starts winding down, like refineries wind down because of tax reasons. Because you're taxed at the end of the year. You're taxed on December 31st on how much product you're still holding. So
I see.
refineries everybody wants to get rid of their product. So they, it floods the market with product.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So generally it pulls the market down, but everybody's trying to get rid of everything because you don't want to be taxed on, you want to be taxed as little as possible. You want to be taxed on what you're holding. So generally that's why we see weakness in December.
Okay, so so it's tax loss selling and everything,
Yeah.
including physical commodity markets. Being and trading from Canada, does Canadian come into play for you? Do you think a lot about what's happening? The loonie? Not at all.
Oh no, yeah, I'm short, Ken.
Okay, so
I've been saying that since last year. Somebody on Twitter said, "What's the one trade that you would be in?" And I said, "Short cat," and still be in. Like if you had to put it on today and you would, and stay in it for a year. I said short cat, although it's remained very resilient.
Yeah.
But still, I think that we are starting to sort of see some cracks, and so I'm still convicted.
You have levels that you think it could go to? Could we revisit 120 again? That was a lows into the end of 17.
Yeah, I trade CAD USD because I trade the futures.
Yeah.
So, I definitely think we could go see, 70, 68 again.
Okay.
Area.
Okay. Okay, interesting on
If you're
that
talking,
too.
I'm just talking, it's the flip.
Right. It's instead of how it is for retail FX, it's different in futures. It's reversed.
In futures, yeah, it's CAD.
Just
US,
like the yen, same with US dollar yen and the way it's paired up there. Okay, so I think we've covered a lot of the different markets here, except for, we've covered the metals, we've covered yields, WTI. A really interesting fact about what happens in December. I never thought about that before. And S&Ps, God, is there a recession up there in Canada? I'm hearing about all this weakness in Canada.
Not really yet. We didn't cut rates the last time. I think they're going to have to next time.
Okay.
But, it really, I think the thing to watch really here is the housing market.
Right? I was just going to ask you about that. Have prices been coming down?
So it's come down a little.
Yeah.
But it's still, it's still a bubble. It's still, even though like all the Chinese money, started,
right.
has started leaving, right? Because as I said, get your money back here. But still,
where's the Chinese money going? Back to China? Or are they repatriating?
Back to China, yeah. Basically, as I said, you have to bring your
Oh, okay. So it's under threat of who knows what, prison or execution. They have to bring their money back.
Right. So a lot of that money's left, the United States market as well. It's left Canada market. It's left everywhere. But so housing prices have come down here, but and they started upticking again lately. But they haven't come down enough to not still be a bubble, right?
Okay.
It's still ridiculously expensive, especially on the West Coast.
Okay, so on the West Coast of Canada, I know here on the West Coast of the U.S., which I never thought would happen, is that prices actually exceeded by quite a bit their highs of 2008. Is that what happened in Vancouver and the West Coast of Canada too?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And it was a lot of Asian money that drove it.
No, absolutely.
Okay, are you happy with the election and your new government, which is kind of like the old one?
Well, I can't. I'm still a U.S. citizen, so.
Oh, okay.
I can't vote here.
Oh.
So.
So, do you mind me asking if you're a U.S. citizen while you live in Canada?
What? There was
okay.
an
You don't have to answer.
Here, so something new, something different.
Oh, okay. And you like cold weather?
So I do. I didn't realize that. I thought Chicago was bad. Ooh.
Yeah. So is it colder than I grew up in Chicago. Is it worse?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So you're now hibernating for the ice age of 2019.
So Yes. So I've taken to go, I've started doing that Florida thing during the winter, like, January, February,
Yeah,
take a
like the
month and go.
bears.
Yeah, you got to.
All
It
right.
gets,
Well,
you know.
all right. Well, Shai hibernates in the winter and heats up the markets with her commentary. And, I talk to people all the time, Trace, and I want to let you know that they say, well, Shai said da 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 da. Shy Girl said, da, da, da. I said, okay, all right, okay, all right. Anyway, your calls and your views help a lot of people out there, and I'd love to see your scenario unfold in the oil and get this push up towards that trend line that you and I drew together. Look, we're like partners. We were able to
Right.
draw,
Do that.
so the top of
Exactly.
this channel is what
I
we're
mean, I
going to be
think,
looking
it
for.
will, I mean, is it going to go today? I don't know. Maybe inventories does it.
Okay.
Does it
What was this
consolidate
candle?
here?
What was this yesterday? This candle, let me just, this one, what was this? Do you know? Was there a report yesterday that gave us this huge
Oh,
blue candle?
yeah, that was API, which was
Okay.
clear. I mean, we had a draw of like 500K. I mean, it wasn't, you know, that
Yeah.
bullish. I think to me, the market feels like it wants to break higher and it will
Yeah.
take any reason. It's just
COT
what it
giving you any
feels,
clues?
feels
Any?
like. Actually, people are starting to add a little bit of logs. I mean, OI has been terrible. Open interest has been terrible. I mean, this whole year, nobody's had any interest in the oil market, basically.
Interesting.
So, it's besides the, geopolitical spikes that we've had,
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't really, we've kind of been in a range all year, comparatively speaking.
Okay.
But because it hasn't been a lot of interest. So we're seeing a little bit of buying interest. But that kind of started with the announcement of the IPO. So, I think people are like, oh, IPO,
Well, it's only 2 weeks away that,
let's throw some longs on.
Yeah, that's, what is most obvious is usually obviously wrong. So, really appreciate you coming in, Trace. And here is Tracy's Twitter so that you could follow her at CHIG, forget the I before the R. You could follow her here. Let's see, what do you have? You have a new website up now? What's this
I have a
link?
website. It's just shygirl.com. I haven't really
Okay,
updated it, but
I got it.
there's some stuff on there.
Okay, so you update this daily? No, it
No.
says September 15th. So
I'm terrible at it.
let me ask you this: do you update it quarterly?
So, I mean, yeah, kind of,
All right.
I usually post, like, if I post something new on there, I'll say it on Twitter. I'll say,
Okay.
on
Well, you got.
but I am terrible at keeping it up.
All right. Anyway. Anyway, if you want to know what happened on September 15th, you go to Tracy's. You know what? I'm going to bookmark this, Tracy, because at least I could, I see all your tweets. It's a good place to get all your tweets, and these are updated. These are live. So really appreciate you being here today and hanging out with us and drawing some channel lines in the WTI. And I want to wish you a great holiday season, happy Thanksgiving. And
You as well. It's
yeah,
always a
and
pleasure. Always
yeah,
a pleasure.
so, I give thanks to all the great people I've met on Twitter that I've interviewed, like you, Tracy. So I hope that pips rain down on you and everyone that your words touch. Okay. In
And
fact, okay,
likewise.
forget the
And for
rain. Let's
everybody,
make it
and to all
snowflakes. Huh?
snowflakes.
Yeah, snowflakes are pips for you
I've
all
got
winter.
I've got plenty of those.
All right. Well, thank you
All
so
right.
much, Trace.
All right. Thank you.
Appreciate you being with us, and thanks for kind of giving me some confirmation about where I was looking to short the market in the WTI. So I was looking forward to collaborating on that idea with you. Thank you for your time today.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
Okay, my trading warrior sister, Tracy at Shy Girl, bookmark her website so you're up, so people don't have to tell you, well, Shy Girl said this, so you'll know before they tell you. And that's a wrap for our Thursday. Remember, don't just count your rigs or your barrels of oil, count your blessings, and we'll see everyone tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your trading session. And that's going to be a wrap for Friday tomorrow. Thanks for your attention. And thank you again, Tracy. See ya.
All right.
Adios.